Okay, so chapter 6 talks about aerobic exercise. And so to begin with, I just want to define what makes an exercise aerobic. So as we know, aerobic exercises are those that depend or require the presence of oxygen. And these exercises are mainly going to use type 1 muscle fibers, and they're also going to allow us to endure longer exercises. So examples of aerobic exercises that most of us have engaged in are going to be like walking, running, swimming, dancing, hiking, and much more. So these are going to be, like I said, longer duration of the exercise. And I read an article called Exercise in the Cardiovascular System, and it kind of just explains the cardiac response to acute exercise. And so when we are looking at aerobic exercise, there is an increase in cardiac output. And like we know, cardiac output is the product of stroke volume and heart rate. And both of these are going to significantly increase during our aerobic exercise. And so when we start exercising, so initially at the beginning of our workout, our stroke volume is going to increase. And then once we start hitting about 50% of our VO2 max, it's going to plateau. Yeah, it's going to plateau. I hope I'm saying that right. It's going to plateau, and it's going to kind of remain constant until we start, until the end of our workout. So according to the article, it says that once stroke volume plateaus, it is the continued linear rise in heart rate that drives the further increase in cardiac output. So as soon as it starts to plateau, our stroke volume is no longer leading that cardiac output increase. It's just our heart rate. So heart rate also has the same linear effect when it comes to aerobic exercise. So it's also increasing as our exercise progresses. In addition to stroke volume and heart rate, our blood pressure is also going to similarly rise like cardiac output. So basically, our cardiovascular system is constantly working to meet the demands that we need to perform our aerobic exercises. So that was topic 1. I'm going to skip to topic 3. I chose the effects of aerobic exercise on cardiovascular disease. And there has been lots of research that show really favorable results. There's a lot of benefits that come with exercise in general and our health. So some of the benefits as far as for our cardiovascular or cardiovascular disease, some of the benefits include an increase in aerobic capacity. So we're looking at aerobic exercise, engaging in aerobic exercise, practicing aerobic exercises is really going to increase our capacity, our endurance for that. It's going to lower our blood pressure, weight loss, lower levels of LDLs, which is our bad cholesterol, and higher levels of our HDL, which is our good cholesterol. And it's also going to lower our blood glucose. So those individuals who, have, cardiovascular disease or have experienced, some cardiac event, they, should engage in some kind of physical activity because there's, it might pose some risk, but the benefits are going to outweigh them. And, according to the ACSM, every American should be engaging in at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise on most days. So 5 days, So 5 days or most days out of the week. And I did a little bit of research and I found an article entitled Exercise and Cardio Health. And they state that evidence has shown that reducing cardiovascular risk factors through exercise can actually reduce the chance of of having or experiencing a cardiac event. And I mean, like I said, there's so much research out there that really shows the favorable results of exercise and cardiovascular disease. And then I'm going to go back to topic 2. For some reason, I didn't understand this one fully, but I'm going to try and tackle it the best that I know how. I chose the hemostatic response to acute aerobic exercise. And so I kind of put it together. Hemo means blood, and static means, constant or normal. So I want to talk about the effects, the chronic effects of exercise on the body when we're doing, aerobic exercise. And so when we're engaging in aerobic exercise, there's going to be an increase of O2 carrying capacity of blood. So, there's going to be an increase of blood flow to the muscle that we are working. And so in addition to the increased blood supply, there's also going to be an increased amount of blood vessels. So that makes sense. If we have an increase of blood flow going, there's going to be an increase of blood vessels as well. And that's going to allow our lungs to take in and distribute more O2. Let's see. So upon aerobic exercise, our resting heart rate, of course, is going to go down, and our maximal heart rate is going to go up as intensity and time goes up as well. So there's a relationship there. There's going to be an increase of stroke volume at rest, and there's going to be more glycogen stored in the muscle. And then last thing that I want to just go over is that there's going to be an increase in muscle size and strength. So during exercise, typically, or aerobic exercise in this case, there are blood vessels are going to vasodilate. And basically what that means is that they are going to dilate, which means to open up, to allow more blood flow in that area. And so like I said, the blood flow or the increase of blood supply is going to be at the muscle that we are working. So if we're working our biceps or our legs, there's going to be an increase of blood flow there. And so that's kind of what I got as far as like the hemostatic responses to acute aerobic exercise. I'm interested in seeing what you guys have researched on this topic, but thanks for watching my video, and I hope you learned.